Hey there! Welcome to today's video on the Ohana Mama. I'm so glad you're here. In today's video, you're going to see some snippets from our family adventure at Thatcher Park here in what I would call upstate New York. It's about 20 to 30 minutes from Albany, and it's a state park that has a couple of trails. We decided to take the girls on this trail because it was a really nice day out on this day, and truthfully, it's been so rainy here that we haven't been able to get outside much. So we decided to take the girls on a small road trip. It's about an hour from our home, hour and a half maybe, and so we took a nice road trip, took the girls for a stroll outside for the first time in what feels like forever after all of the crazy rain we have gotten. So I am excited to continue showing you our trip. So as you can see here, this is the view from the top of where you would park for the visitor parking. It's where you would have free parking for 30 minutes, but it's not super enforced from my experiences. But here you're overlooking pretty much everything over in the valley, and it's just beautiful. This here is our brand new wagon we got for Christmas from a couple of our family members, and we are super fortunate for that. Again, that wagon was absolutely phenomenal for the girls. It wasn't ideal for the trail because, you'll see here, it wasn't completely off-road, but it wasn't perfect either. But the wagon did the job. The girls loved it because they could see each other, and in some of the parts here, we had the girls we had Noelle out so that she wasn't super bumpy and it didn't hurt her neck. But as you can see here, we put her back, and truthfully, this is actually really sped up, so it looks a little funnier than it actually was. But don't let me lie to you, I was totally giggling at first. The girls absolutely loved it. So a little bit about Thatcher. It's a state park. You can do a couple of the trails. Some of the trails are flat. There's an upper trail and a lower trail, and there might be another trail, but I'm not totally 100% positive on that. We could only do the upper trail because the wagon would not be able to go down the lower trail. As you'll see later in the video, there's a spot with a waterfall, and you can actually walk under that waterfall, through the rock cave kind of, and unfortunately the wagon just would not fit, so we decided to stay on the upper trail. The girls absolutely enjoyed this ride. A ride for them, but a walk for us. And so truthfully, they had a great time, and it was actually kind of short. It was a shorter walk, thankfully. It was about 30 minutes overall. And it was mostly shaded, which was helpful. So it was not super buggy either, which was great. So we didn't have to worry about the extra bug spray and things that I did bring, just in the event that we needed it. We did use a little bit of sunscreen just because the wagon doesn't fully cover everything, and in some parts, Theo and Noelle were kind of exposed, as you can kind of see here. So it was not necessary like our Disney trip, but it helped for sure. So as you can see here, this is where you're able to go down the steps to that lower trail that I was talking about earlier. Unfortunately, we weren't able to take the wagon with us because the wagon, it's not really wagon friendly or stroller friendly at that point. So we decided that we would just skip that and just stay upwards. As you can see down below there, that's kind of where that second trail goes, and under you're able to walk under that waterfall a little bit. It's actually really kind of cool to be able to do that if you have the opportunity to do so. Just with the wagon this time around, we couldn't do that. Also here at Thatcher Park, you can see that there are plenty of lawn spaces for you to bring a picnic basket and, you know, some lunch or dinner or whatever it is that you fancy, and take some time to just sit and relax and enjoy it. It looks like this is also a New York State birding trail, which is pretty cool. There are some various like camp grills around Thatcher Park that you can utilize for free. And as you'll see here later in the video, that you'll actually be able to utilize a pavilion or two. I think there's 2 pavilions here that you can utilize to host different events. You would just have to go through the New York State Parks website to be able to request and reserve that. Here you'll see Thomas and Theo going to check out the beginnings of the waterfall. Noelle kind of stayed back, but Theo was interested in the water. She always has been. But there are 2 different spots for the waterfalls, and in this particular spot you can actually head around back. You'll see them go in the backyard a little bit, and you can kind of play in like the creek part of back there. But obviously, you know, just be mindful, be careful of your surroundings and what you're doing, and to always proceed with caution. But overall, this was a lot of fun. And truthfully, it wasn't that buggy, ironically, which is something to consider when going into a walking trail or a walking path or hiking. So here is one of the pavilions that you can utilize, that is at Thatcher Park. Not pictured here is like a small playground for the kids. It has a traditional metal slide, so I would recommend bringing a blanket or using a sweatshirt of some sort there. And just back there was a like weird like concrete tunnel. But this is the visitor center. You can access a bathroom and just a spot to kind of cool off. On the back side here, there is also some outdoor seating with some picnic tables that you'll see us utilize here in just a couple seconds. This was great because it gave us an opportunity to utilize a space to be able to feed Noelle and give Theo a break for a second, and for us to kind of rest our feet and get ready to head back. Here you can see us getting ready to utilize that famous Mom Cozy bottle warmer I talked about in a previous video. What I had done is I had 2 scoops of formula pre-measured for Noelle and had a clean bottle packed away in the diaper bag. What I did is I had that bottle warmer heated up. I had water in there ahead of time, and I was able to just pour the formula into the bottle and then use the warmer once it reached the temp and poured it into, you know, the equivalent. So for 2 scoops of formula, it was 4 ounces of water. I was able to pour that and make a bottle for for Noelle, which was fantastic. Theo kind of hung around, played in the wagon for a little bit, We were able to go inside and get the girls changed and kind of just do a quick reset and a quick movement break before we made our journey back to the car. So on our way back to the car, my husband found this like weeble wobble type of ladder thing, bob that kids can play on. But of course, my husband is a kid at heart, so of course he had to try it. And this concludes our trip to Thatcher Park as a family of 4. This was our first time taking both girls. Theo hasn't gone this is the first time in 2 years that she has gone. We did not go last year because I was pregnant with Noelle, but the girls had a great time, and it was safe to say that they passed out shortly after we loaded in the car and headed back home. One thing that is not pictured here is we stopped at Schoharie Valley Farms, also known as the Carrot Barn up here, and it's like a cute little farm stand / bakery that has baked goods and fresh produce and local products from local businesses for sale. So that is kind of our annual, we need to stop there after we go to Thatcher Park and get something good to eat and bring home. So thank you guys so much for joining and watching our adventure today, and we will see you real soon.